Hey, what's up, Spooky fam? Today we are beginning Revenge Horror Movie Week on this channel. I have a couple of what I think to be pretty good revenge horror movies. We'll get to that list. We have some honorable mentions, but first I just want to talk your ear off a little bit about revenge and the subgenre itself. So if you enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more, check out my links down below, and let's get started.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're about to witness some scenes from the next attraction to play this theater. This picture, truly one of the most unusual ever filmed, contains scenes which under no circumstances should be viewed by anyone with a heart condition or anyone who is easily upset.
To avoid fainting, keep repeating. It's only a movie. Only a movie. Only a movie.
The revenge subgenre can be split into multiple subgenres itself. Rape and revenge, animal vengeance, vengeance for a loved one, torture escapee revenge. The list continues. Avenging death or trauma carries this subgenre. This week we have 2 rape revenge films. We have 1 vengeance for a loved one, and then we're finishing the week off with one about getting vengeance for being wrongfully fired from a job. I also do want to quickly mention that we are only doing 4 movies this week because I feel like this topic and these movies are a little bit heavier to deal with the content in them, so I feel like it'll be nice to just have a short week for this one. And revenge movies are not limited to horror, and we'll see that in the honorable mentions. I also want to mention there is one movie that I wanted to review so badly for this week. It's called Sissy, and it's coming out this year. It's just not out yet, and it's about like best friend bullying, just that kind of vengeance, and I felt like that would have been a really interesting theme for this week. So let's start off with our first movie we'll be talking about, and it's one that's stuck with me. I've seen it multiple times now. It is Violation from 2020, and this has one of the most visceral scenes that I've ever seen in a revenge film, and I loved it. A woman embarks on a campaign of revenge after she is sexually assaulted by her brother-in-law, and her sister doesn't believe her. It is a fantastic movie, and we are going to dive into so many themes with that one. These videos are probably going to end up being a little bit on the longer side, so I guess we're compensating for 4 videos with longer videos. Moving on to our second movie, and Revenge from 2017. Of course I had to do this one. There is a fun correlation between Violation and Revenge, but you'll see that in the Violation video. A young woman is assaulted and left for dead in the desert by 3 men, where she recovers and seeks vengeance upon her attackers. And this one was surprising, but if you suspend your disbelief a little bit, it actually is a great movie. Moving on to one that I felt like deserved to be on this list, and that is I Saw the Devil. This cat and mouse story is just a tale of revenge that I think needs to be seen by everyone. A secret agent takes revenge on a serial killer through a series of captures and releases. And I just loved it. When Alex and I watched that movie, I was just like, oh my god, this is intense. Like, if you guys like intense, gory, torture, release, capture, vengeance, revenge movies, like, I don't know how else to like encapsulate all that for you. And then the 4th and final movie we'll be talking about is Mayhem from 2017. We just saw this recently, and when I had to switch out Sissy, I was like, what could I put in this list? And I felt like Mayhem had an interesting enough theme to be a part of this revenge week. A virus spreading through an office complex causes white-collar workers to act out their worst impulses. And that's just like the background setting of the revenge in this movie. So we'll definitely dive into that one. So let's quickly talk about some honorable mentions before we wrap up here, starting with A Vigilante Vigilante, starring Olivia Wilde. This one is about a woman who goes after people for victims, I should say. It's revenge for victims of domestic violence and domestic abuse. She goes and gets revenge on their behalf, and that is a great movie. Moving on to John Wick, which I'm sure we all know by now is him getting revenge for the murder of his dog. And I also think that was an important one to add in the honorable mentions for Revenge Movie Week. Next is Enough with Jennifer Lopez, not a horror movie, but another one where it is revenge for domestic abuse, but instead for her character. And she's going after her husband and getting her own vengeance. Great film. The next two I'm just lumping together because of the, I guess, similar themes. They came out around the same time. Shocking, very shocking. Keep telling yourself it's only a movie. The Last House on the Left and I Spit on Your Grave, the originals and the remakes. Those are great revenge films, torture, rape revenge films. And I think that the remake for The Last House on the Left, I think my favorite scene in that one is when the guy gets his head blown up in the microwave. Chef's kiss. One that you probably didn't expect to be on this list, and that is Inglourious Bastards, and that is revenge against Hitler. I think that's all that I wanted to mention. Stay tuned for tomorrow's video, Violation from 2020. If you guys are sensitive to themes about sexual violence, sexual abuse, the next couple of videos are gonna be rough, so I'm just letting you know. But that's gonna be it for today's video. I will see you tomorrow. Please go ahead and check out any of the movies that I mentioned because they're all good ones. And I'll see you later. Sayonara, Spooky fam.